you're first. Get it together, bro.
Ready?
Let's go.
3, 2.
Use your focus face.
Hi friends, welcome to our awesome announcements. I'm Mr. Matt.
And I'm Miss Gianna.
Did you guys all remember that today is the Loaves and Fishes store? If you have your Loaves and Fishes dollars, make sure you check out the store and see what they have that you can invest in.
Through our Loaves and Fishes store, we can buy all sorts of things to help people in our city, in our country, and all around the world. And if you want to buy a bigger item, you and your friends can combine your Loaves and Fishes dollars together.
It's a really great way to help people just like Jesus wants us to.
And speaking of helping people, our offering is currently going to our partner organization, Hope Mission. We are helping buy supplies to make lunches for kids and families that can't afford to have lunch by themselves.
If you have your offering with you, you can go ahead and give it to your leaders right now. And we'll be collecting all the way through to the end of December.
Finally, next weekend will be the last weekend to hand in your challenge card for October. So make sure you guys finish that up this week.
And you can hand your challenge cards in. You can give it to your leaders, or you can upload a picture of that using the QR code on the back of your challenge card.
And when you hand it in, you get a chance to be part of the pizza draw for your campus. So make sure you guys hand them in.
And that's all we have for our awesome announcements today. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miss Julie. Welcome.
And my name is Miss Milana, and we're so glad that you've joined us today.
We are continuing our series where we're asking God to work through me, just like the Old Testament prophets.
Have you got a prophet puppet for us today?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do. And it's one of my favorites.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
It's kind of like a paper bag puppet. But you're going to have to figure out who this person is with a few clues.
Okay. Can you give us our first clue?
Okay.
Okay.
It's a man.
Yes. Okay. I thought all prophets in the Bible were men. Were there any women prophets in the Bible?
Well, there were a few, but there were way more men.
Okay.
So I guess that wasn't a super helpful clue. Sorry. Okay. This guy had a run-in with a well or a cistern.
Well, a few wells are mentioned in the Bible. Joseph was thrown in a well, but he wasn't a prophet. And Jesus met a woman at a well.
True.
But we know this was a man. Okay, I need another clue.
All right. He was one of the major prophets. That means he wrote one of the longer books in the Old Testament. And I will say, this is not a common Bible story. I'm going to guess that most of you kids probably don't know it very well, but I'm only guessing.
There are Bible stories that we haven't heard? Maybe? Okay. I have no idea what this story is.
Well, it depends on how much you read your Bible, but there are lots of stories in the Bible that we just don't have time to go over when we're in church.
Okay.
Shall we check this one out?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I can hardly wait to hear this. Okay.
Pain and grief tore at the prophet Jeremiah as he watched his beloved people worship other gods and refused to turn back to the one true God. The sorrowful prophet had been met with rejection, imprisonment, banishment, false accusations, and physical brutality because of the message God had sent him to deliver. Now, destruction was moving swiftly toward the nation of Israel at the hands of an invading army. Again, the Lord warned through Jeremiah, "Your city and anyone who remains in it will be destroyed by the Babylonians." But God showed mercy by adding, "But if you leave now and throw yourselves upon the pity of the Chaldeans, your lives will be spared." When the king's officials heard the words of the prophet, they were filled with anger. Losing to the Babylonian king was not part of their plan and not at all what they wanted to hear. They accused Jeremiah before the king. He is a liar, and he is bringing everyone's spirits down. If we do not get rid of him, the soldiers will give up fighting, and we will lose the city to the Babylonians. Kill him. So the king carelessly agreed. Go ahead and do whatever you want with him. When the king's officials found Jeremiah, they seized him and threw him into a broken and empty cistern. where he began to sink into the deep mud and was left to die. But although Jeremiah was the only man sitting in the mire of that dark and empty cistern, he was not alone. God was with him, and his pain did not go unnoticed. An Ethiopian servant in the king's house named Ebed-Melech heard of the injustice of Jeremiah's situation and went to the king saying, "Please have mercy on Jeremiah, for he has been dealt with unfairly. He will die if he is left in the cistern much longer." This time the king decided to stand up for Jeremiah. He commanded the Ethiopian, "Hurry, take 30 men and lift him out of the cistern before anything worse happens to him." Ebed-Melech responded immediately. He believed the words of God spoken through the prophet and risked his own life in order to save Jeremiah. This act of bravery and selflessness would later be rewarded when his own life was spared during the destruction of the city. God praised him for his faithful actions. "I will surely save you, because you have trusted in me." The men pulled Jeremiah out of the damp, deep cistern. He was cold, hungry, and covered with mud. They placed him in the custody of the palace prison, where he remained until the king called for him to meet at the temple. The king said to Jeremiah, "I need to hear from God about what is happening. Please tell me everything. Hold nothing back." Jeremiah knew the king did not want the truth, but only wanted to hear what pleased him. So he said to the king, "You will surely kill me for what I am about to say, and you won't heed my words anyway." The king insisted he would not hurt the prophet. Jeremiah did not trust the vows of a fickle and cowardly king, but he did trust in God. So with courage and determination, he once again presented the harsh truth of certain judgment and gave a strict warning despite the deadly risk.
I'm curious if you have heard this story of Jeremiah and the cistern before. I want you to give me 2 thumbs up if you have. And if it was brand new, I want you to give me a fist pump. It's pretty interesting. You know what I like about this story? We see how God is trustworthy. What God was telling the people to do didn't seem to make sense. So King Zedekiah chose to listen to his officials and not God's messenger, Jeremiah. But God knew what was best, and the king and people shouldn't have disobeyed him. Things would have turned out better if they had listened to Jeremiah.
You're right. For us today, God might ask us to do something that doesn't make sense. Or maybe it's confusing. But boys and girls, we can trust God no matter what, because God is trustworthy. He's proven that time and again.
You know, it's a really good thing that Ebed-Melech noticed how Jeremiah was being treated and bravely told the king. You know, he could have been killed for doing that.
Yes, he could have. But he saw someone being treated unfairly or unjustly, and he did what was right.
Yeah.
Because of Ebed-Melech, not only was Jeremiah saved, but he was also summoned by the king, who heard the message from God. Ebed-Melech acted justly.
You know, that reminds me of our Bible verse that we've been learning this month. It talks about how we are to act justly. And that means we should treat others with fairness and stand up for those who need our voice. Maybe when they're being bullied like Jeremiah was. So let's say it together. Can you all stand up? Okay, you ready to do this?
Ready.
Okay. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Micah 6:8. That was awesome. Let's try it one more time. Okay, let's go. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Micah 6:8. You know, all this talk about acting justly towards others and trusting God to work in situations, really got me thinking. I want God to work through me. I trust God and I want to surrender my life, my time, my abilities, my voice to be used by Him. God is trustworthy. Work through me. And if you want to invite God to work through you, I want you to shout that out with me. Are you ready? God is trustworthy. Work through me.
This week, let's be looking for ways that God can work through us to help those around us. It was so good to learn together today, friends. See you next time.
Bye. See ya.
You were before time, and you'll be when it ends. You have no beginning and no end. Your word will endure without change. It is sure. On your promises, we will stand secure. Faithful, you are ever faithful. You are ever faithful to us, God. Your might you display in the skies every day. Everything you created for your praise. From the cross on the earth to your throne, you return, where you reign over all creation. Never changed, you are never shaken. Faithful, you are ever faithful. You are ever faithful to us, God. Powerful, you are crowned all powerful. All the world will bow before you, oh God. You're the song of my soul, salvation, life that cannot be taken. Faithful, you are ever faithful. You are ever faithful to us, God. Faithful, you are ever faithful. You are ever faithful to us, God. Powerful, you are crowned all powerful. All the world will bow before you, oh God. Can you feel it in your heart, deep down in your soul? Let the love of God move you, change you. Raise your eyes and see the one who gave us all so much. Forever God, forever love. Praise the living God. He is here and He is real. Worship Him together. Worship Him forever. Look at what He's done.